In DC, for DC. DC Radio, 96.3 HD4 and DCRadio.gov.
I want to make sure I say this right. JFKratez?
You did it.
JFKratez, man, a.k.a. Russell, a.k.a. The Man.
The Man.
You are the man,
Give
sir.
me any name. Yep, any of them.
Yes, any one of them today. You know what I'm saying? Here with me and Demo today, my man. Like, first of all, this isn't on this. We haven't talked about this, but where are you from?
Me? Oh man, that's a doozy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I grew up in the DC area.
Nice.
Moco. My family.
Moco, yeah, that's what's up.
My family's from Guyana.
Oh, okay.
So I'm
Nice.
Guyanese. Yeah, I'm West Indian. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I got that vibe.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah. Actually, that's the short answer.
That's short. Okay. So I also didn't put this in here either. How did you
That's what
get
she said.
My coworkers love that joke, man. And we do that all day, yo.
I needed to do that. I'm sorry.
It's okay. As long as it's not cursing, because we don't do that, right? We don't curse, Shane.
Correct.
We
I've
don't
never
do
cursed a day in my life.
Not a once.
Yeah, I'm on some Jesus is King.
Yep. Oh,
That's actually not a bad album, dog.
It's a good album.
Really?
My bad.
I'm interrupting too much.
Nah, it's not a bad album.
It's not a bad album.
No.
There's like 2-3 songs that are good. All of it is trash, dude.
What?
Well, please. Let's not get mad at me because it's about God, right? Like, it has nothing to do.
It has nothing to do with
No
that.
man, no man should talk about God and Chick-fil-A at the same time.
Why not? Chick-fil-A does it.
They do it.
Chick-fil-A does it, and they're closed on Sundays.
They closed on Sunday,
On the cusp of Popeyes coming back strong with the chicken sandwich, I might add.
You know they still haven't had that chicken sandwich out yet.
I've never had it. The Popeyes
chicken sandwich.
Had it.
No,
I had it. I had it. It was delicious.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it was like
I have to try that.
Yeah,
it was
you
like
have to try
battered and cracked. It was amazing.
I think it is. It might be.
It had to be.
in it?
Huh? I think so.
Okay.
Because the way the line looked today when I went to lunch, this Popeyes never gets any traffic like that.
Don't tell me the sandwich is back, dog.
No, the sandwich been back. It's been back this weekend.
You lying. Oh my God. My God. Like,
It's been back for at least a strong 4 days. Like,
how come I haven't seen this? Where's the news? How come
you can't put news out like that? You just gotta know.
You just gotta
How
know.
do you not know?
You should have felt the
didn't-
energy.
I didn't download
Yeah.
the Popeyes app.
There is no Popeyes app.
There is a Popeyes
What?
app that would tell you
What?
when the chicken sandwich is going to come
I think
out.
when the Popeye sandwich came back, we all just got like a little shiver.
I know I did.
Yeah.
I was asleep, huh? This was that one
I
weekend.
don't know what happened.
I
man.
woke
was
up out my
like,
sleep. I was like, what was that? That's what happened to me.
Delicious.
That's what happened
And
to
I
you.
haven't even had it yet.
You haven't even had it. You were just like, yo,
I
the
was
chicken
like,
is
It's
out.
just in a
Something
black
feels different
person's
today.
spirit to know that chicken sandwich is back.
I love that chicken sandwich.
I thought it was
That chicken
daylight
sandwich is-
savings, but it was the chicken sandwich.
It was the chicken sandwich.
all along.
Yeah.
So I can sit here and I can talk about fried chicken all day, but that's not why we're here,
Yes.
right, guys? We're
Not
here
today, anyway.
Not today. Though this will be a future topic.
Right.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be in here with the chicken. Anyway. So, what company or clique? You know how they got like the ASAP gang? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you guys have like a gang? Are y'all like Quill? You know what I'm saying? Like y'all, is there? You know what I'm saying? Like, do y'all have like a
So we
squad?
called a Chick-fil-A gang. It's like, no.
Oh, I was about to say.
It's like that.
Like,
the irony.
what a segue.
So we are me and Rolando. We Cypher 360s. Our associates were called Cypher 360. CYPHA 360Z. And you can check out more of our content at cypher360s.com and our Instagram is Cypher360s. Also, I'm repping the Singnam Sab fight martial arts Muay Thai team. So
Yo.
Cypher 360s and Singnam Sab.
That's what's up.
That's what we do.
Shout out,
Y'all
man.
like
That's what's
legit
up.
Wu-Tang, dog.
Yeah, y'all Wu-Tang for real. You know what I'm
Just to
saying?
segue off of that.
Bak. You know what I'm saying?
Are you guys
Just
fans of battle rap?
battle rap?
Yeah.
Of course.
Like real battle rap, like Smack URL.
Yeah, I be
Smack
watching that
DVD.
joint sometimes late at night.
So I did. I did a video with DNA 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah, and when we were there, I told him a little bit about our gang,
Okay.
and he was like, "Oh, so y'all like the real live Wu-Tang?
Yo,
like y'all the
like,
new
for
Wu-Tang?"
real.
And I was like, "Yeah, except we really do this fighting stuff."
Yo,
like,
I want in.
Do it for real.
I don't know martial arts. I want in.
hey,
I want to train. You know what I'm saying? Like that's part of it. Like the requirement. I would train.
martial
You know what I'm
arts and
saying?
mentality. You
Yeah,
know?
true.
I'll change it up. I'll change up my state of mind. That sounds much easier than getting in shape.
It goes hand in hand.
It goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Dang.
Damn, that's what's up, man.
That is tight. That is tight. And you guys have done some really awesome songs. You know what I'm saying? Like I've listened to a couple of your songs and they were awesome. Rolando played your Street Fighter beat, which is actually the Guile theme song, which was fantastic. That's how we ended out our show. And you know, I guess as far as like the direction it goes is how do you get? I ain't write down none of this, but how do you get?
It's the best.
You got to freestyle sometimes.
Yeah. How do you draw that inspiration from a game or an anime? You know, and how do you turn that into something that everybody can relate to and enjoy listening to? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think really and truly, it comes from being cultured in a way, and also like I'm a musician first, so it takes time. When you think about what Michael Jackson did with Thriller, it's like he dressed up like a young urban kid, and he sang a song about being young and urban,
right?
But he put some horror imagery to it to then also emphasize what it's like to be young, urban, and kind of edgy. He just threw the horror twist on it. So the way I look at it, it's like, look, I look at these anime, I look at these video games, and you look at characters, you see a guy like Cloud Strife, or you see characters like, you know, Sasuke, Naruto, Goku, and all that. And I'm like, I see elements of being an urban youth in all of them. So I just flip it.
I love it.
That's crazy.
I just flip it. I just like the way that I really look at it. I'm like, okay, that element that relates to my life that I also, my degree's in psychology. Yeah. So I also see.
Crazy.
So y'all running around getting educated, trying to fight and watching.
I'm not trying to just trying to sound like I'm trying to educate, but I'm just breaking it down how it works in my mind.
Yeah, I love it.
When I see that element in a character that I relate to, and then I also see other people in other people,
right?
I just make the song about that.
Yo, it's funny you say that because I tell people all the time, I was like, yo, Dragon Ball Z is about black people.
Yeah,
I don't care what nobody says. But now that you put Sasuke in there, I'm like, dang, how many youth you know from the inner city
if Dragon Ball Z
that just lost their whole family to like gang violence?
Well, Rolando says all the time the Uchiha are black people.
Yo, they gotta be.
But not only that, and you know, something else that just going on with the anime topic, something that always made anime more relatable to me is like, I think growing up for black youth, watching some of the superhero comics and things like that, you're kind of looking at the white man's world, in my opinion.
Yeah. And
you're looking at a hero in a white man's world.
Right.
Yes.
So when you're looking at anime, you're looking at a hero in a minority's world.
Exactly. A hero from a different perspective.
Yep. Right.
Not the all-American Superman.
Right. That's right. That's why we relate to Dragon Ball more. That's why we relate to Sasuke.
Yep.
Because the background, like you were just saying, that it's more our world.
Or even take it a step further, My Hero Academia. This man had no powers, but it's like, yo, I just need one break.
Right.
I just need one big break. I'm going to break every bone in my body.
Every day.
But I'm going to adapt and I'm going to morph this into something powerful.
The idea of Dragon Ball Z being about black people makes me sad because the idea is that all of us are going to die except for like 6 dudes who are going to be better than all the white people on the rest of the planet.
Yo, but I don't want to get deep.
O.J. Simpsons and Bill Cosby's running around.
Thing, though. Who said it? Who the talented Tim? W.E.B. Du Bois was like, yo, it's going to be that top 10%. Yeah. That's going to lift the whole race.
Community.
It's going to have to be.
Like, it makes sense.
It would make sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I agree with it.
Somebody gonna come out the ashes.
Going back to Wu-Tang, if either of you read the RZA's book, The Tao of the Wu, I read that when I was a teenager.
What?
And in that book, he describes how Dragon Ball Z to him was about black people. So you're not crazy. What? Yeah, he describes it in that book.
He wrote crazy.
He might have wrote, I think it was like a whole chapter. He was talking about how to him the Super Saiyan hair was like dreadlocks, all that stuff. You know,
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. That's actually super tight.
Yo, that's deep. Anime's deep. I keep telling people, I'm like, anime is so appealing. It don't appeal to everybody because not everybody's going to see that underlying message right in the material. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always definitely a lesson or a story in there that's just deeper than the surface.
I mean, that Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, the concept of truth and what God is compared to science versus religion, you know what I'm saying? People who can feel stuff out versus the science geniuses, you know what I'm saying? And how it all intersects together. Like, I thought it was a great way to cover the concept of death, racism, war, you know what I'm saying? The effects of like right-wing thoughts, you know what I'm saying, and being very of nationalism, you know, taking it to an extreme. Like, it covered a lot of complex concepts.
I mean, wasn't that even the first one to touch on the 7 deadly sins before the 7 deadly sins?
Yeah, they did.
Like,
and in a way, the concepts in it are kind of like Plato-esque, like the philosopher Plato.
Yes.
You know what I mean? When you're talking about truth and all these things, it reminds me of Plato's, you know, allegory, the cave and all those kinds of things. So,
yo, it's deep.
It's deep and it's awesome, man.
And I'll tell you something else too. And Rolando would also relate to this a lot, is that doing martial arts shows you a lot more of the depth in anime. I've been watching anime my whole life. Doing martial arts, symbolism just jumps out at you that it wasn't there before.
Oh, for real?
It's really crazy. Like,
explain.
Man, you just start to understand how much of the foundation to these anime is based on martial arts training. And so many things that you kind of look at and you think, oh, it's kind of dramatized or it's goofy or whatever.
Right.
It's real. Like, I'll give you a perfect example.
Okay.
Very perfect example. Master Roshi.
Yo, Roshi.
Master Roshi. You know, he reminds me a lot of our master in martial arts, Master San.
Oh, for real?
They're very similar in so many ways.
He likes getting blasted. San, he likes
I'm not going to go into how he's similar. I'm not going to go into that.
I was just thinking, like, he's that extra goofy dude that will turn up on you at the drop of a hat.
Yeah. Master San, he'll get down and he's 70 years old. He could get down and do one-handed push-ups right now.
Wow.
And he has the same sense of humor and all that. He's never even heard of Dragon Ball before.
For real?
So, never heard of it. So it just goes to show what the writing's based on.
So Master Sam likes the ladies.
Look, man.
He does.
Definitely, you know.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I love Roshi, man. I love Jiraiya, too.
Jiraiya. A lot of those
the similarities.
Yeah, the similarities.
It's because these guys must have, Kishimoto and Toriyama, they must have been basing the writing on
actual
experience. Yeah.
Exactly. Most martial arts masters are horn dogs.
Yo, you gotta be, man. Testosterone is up high. You know what I'm saying?
Dog. Like, testosterone through the roof.
I was at a fight. When we went to Rolando's fight, he was a guy there, and he was another pro fighter who was about to go up. And this could sound weird, but I was like, hey man, how you feeling? You ready? He's like, I'm horny. That's just all he said. And I was just like, all right, man.
I'm on edge, bro.
That's the scariest thing I ever heard. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of them feel that way, though.
But it's that thrill of going into the fight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's that yo, I'm gonna tear something up, man.
Like I'm beating something.
I'm beating something. I'm beating something to a pulp, dog.
Yeah.
That's real.
Well, real quick, another really good example of how martial arts changed my perspective on anime is the Sharingan in Naruto.
It's my favorite.
One thing that jumped out to me is like when you're learning to box. See, if you remember correctly, in the beginning of Naruto, Kakashi, he used the Sharingan on Zabuza, and Zabuza was like, "How does he know what I'm gonna do before I do it?"
Right.
And then what he learned later, Zabuza learned later, is he didn't know
what he was doing.
He was hypnoptizing Zabuza.
Yeah. It wasn't hypnotized.
It wasn't that he knew what he was going to do.
He was making
him move the way he wanted to move. Mm-hmm. That's boxing.
Yo, that's crazy.
That's technical boxing. That's how technical boxing works. When you're boxing somebody, you're technically gifted.
You're moving to the right, so they move over to the left. And the frustrating part, you can hit them with the jab.
Yeah, right. And I've been on both ends. I've been the guy who's been technically boxed before, and I'm like, yo, why does he keep on knowing what I'm going to do?
Yeah.
And I've been on the other end where it's like, oh, I'm making him move the way I want him to move.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is what it feels like to have a Sharingan.
That's gangster.
That's crazy because now that you say that, it's like, yo, Kakashi already knew the hiding in the mist technique. He made Zabuza use the technique.
That's my point.
That's crazy.
So fights, everything changes when you do martial arts and you watch anime.
Crazy.
Is there an anime out there that is closely related to martial arts, like Baki the Grappler? Is that really close to martial arts, or the concept? You know, do they? Is it really just, you know, in Naruto, besides ninjutsu and genjutsu, maybe even genjutsu? I don't know, but is it just mostly like just, you know what I'm saying, with these hands? Is that closest to regular or to these days martial arts, or is there an anime that you would say?
Well, I think all these action anime, from Dragon Ball to Naruto to One Piece to My Hero, the thing is it's not always about fights. Martial arts is a lifestyle and a mentality. So when you're watching these shows, it's elements all the way down to the fact that all the main characters love to eat so much.
Yo, they eat a lot.
Yeah, they all eat a lot.
There's a reason for that.
Because they need them calories.
They need them. Yeah, it's things. It's the whole lifestyle of the characters.
Yo.
It's like the fact that Goku is so pure-minded.
Almost simple.
Yeah. The simple-mindedness is a part of it too, because it's based on Buddhism and Taoism and all these things. Yeah, so it's like
childlike, not caught up in nothing. Goku ain't never been caught up in nothing.
No
man.
drama.
Not being married, not children.
Right. He like LeBron James or something.
Only thing that can get him is his hairline.
Right.
There's an anime now on Netflix called
that's Vegeta.
Kengan. What is it called? Kengan Ashura?
I started watching that. That is actually super tight.
That's dope. Kengan Ashura is dope. Like, that's one of the few CGI heavy anime that I actually can watch, because I feel like the CGI does help. Like, you see the martial art flow, the movement
and
of the characters.
Angles, how they're being recorded and stuff like that. I think that's really huge.
Yeah, so check that out. Kengan Ashura.
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely. Is there an anime out there that you just love? Like, what is your favorite?
Well, I'm a big Naruto guy. Anybody who knows me knows.
You my man.
I usually wear my gold Naruto chain. Like, I got a piece with his face on it.
Oh, yeah?
That's tight.
But, you know, it was short notice today. I'm a big Naruto guy. I'm also a big Samurai Champloo guay.
Samurai Champloo went hard.
That's a big one. Yeah. And I like all the classics. I'm a big Dragon Ball guy, One Piece. See, Samurai Champloo was big for me because I was a hip hop producer.
Oh yeah,
the music, Nujabes was revolutionary at the time. Like,
I was a teenager learning to make beats.
When I saw them beatboxing in feudal Japan, I was like,
blew your mind. It blew my mind.
Watanabe, he's one of the greatest creative minds to me, because the way that he creates aesthetics out of things that aren't supposed to go together.
Right.
It's nobody. He's like the Tarantino of anime to me.
Yo, for real.
That is really good. Yeah. I like
he just
that.
makes these scenes. There's these things that you typically don't put together, and it just is seamless.
And then you got what's his name? What's the main character name with the red cloak on?
Mugen
be breakdancing.
Right.
Yeah, like, pretty much.
How did he make it look so perfect? Like, it really happened that way.
Even wore the sandals to help incorporate his fighting style with it.
Yep.
Brilliant.
It's brilliant.
It was. You know, like, I like how he was kind of like, Mugen was kind of like that gangster thug kind of personality. While, what's it called? It's Mugen, Fu, and what's the other guy?
Mugen, Fu, and Jin.
Jin, and Jin was kind of like the silent genius, like
the duality.
Yeah.
You have the unconventional and the conventional.
Yes.
Gotta have it.
Yeah.
And then you got the female in the middle all the time. In most anime, that's how it is. You got that one female that kind of binds the two male characters together.
Like, this is why we're here, guys. This is why we're here. We're here with me. We're going there. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Let's do it. Like, they do that a lot.
Yeah, man. Like, I like the fact that Samurai Champloo had like the jazzy music, like the jazzy hip hop, the lo-fi. That was the start of lo-fi right there, man.
People don't even realize how influential that show is. Even today, hip hop and anime are both largely influenced by it.
And I think eventually what's going to happen is that there's going to be a bigger influence. How can I say? I mean, hip hop already does have a huge influence on anime and vice versa.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of rappers talk about anime. Like, a lot of mainstream rappers talk about anime. You know?
To me, hip hop and anime have always been almost like distant cousins. Like, seriously, there's some connection there that, you know, I think they just go hand in hand.
I feel like it's because it's all rebellious to an extent. Like, anime is cartoons to us Americans.
Yeah.
But it's cartoons with like
it matter
blood and you know, like it's dangerous. Like,
I mean, it's a lot of I believe that one of the original reasons why animation became really popular in Japan was that it was a means for people to create worlds and dialogue and ideas at a much cheaper rate that they couldn't afford to do like they would in Hollywood with all the crazy backsets and props and stuff like that. And I think they really took something that was kind of like a you know, almost a hip hop thing of taking something because the times are hard and making it vicious and everybody want it. You know what I'm saying?
For the regular person too.
You know what I'm saying? For the regular person, where anybody can get onto it. And one of the biggest things that I liked about anime was that also is kind of synonymous with hip hop is that ever changingness, you know, and you kind of see it in the intros, how the intros change. And that used to be my main thing. Like my main reason for watching Naruto is because like every season there's going to be a different intro. And tight as all heck. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta see it, and it's always somehow alluding to the end of the arc. You know what I'm saying? Like
I never realized.
Oh yeah, like
they
why
all do? They
like,
foreshadow.
They foreshadow like crazy.
Skipping the intro. I need to get to the show, dog.
They all foreshadow.
It would be like, yo, why is Sasuke in a typhoon of water falling into the darkness? What's up with his eyes? Like, what's going on? It's like
I never knew.
And it's like the precursor to him. Oh man, because it's like I keep watching it. I'm like, you know who else does it really well? Breaking Bad. You know how Breaking Bad would give
you know what's crazy?
Of what's going to happen.
It's very funny you say that. A thought of mine that I always had that I never really thought anybody else had. Sometimes I used to watch Breaking Bad and think to myself, this feels like an anime.
It does.
Because not even only like the characters, the way that, like, if you look at a poster for Breaking Bad, like, one thing I like about anime, actually, you can look at a picture of the characters in the very beginning before you start watching. And you get an idea of where you already start, your mind already starts going like, yo, what's up with this? When you first look at Naruto himself.
Even on the manga books, I'd be like.
You look at it, you look at him, you're like, this guy has lines on his cheeks.
What's the lines mean?
He's got this big orange jacket on. He's got the swirl on his back. What do all these things mean? And then you dive into it and you learn. I feel that way about Breaking Bad. Like, you look at like a poster of Breaking Bad, you see this dude, half the time he's in whitey tighties with a breaker on, and then he's cooking meth, and he got a junkie next to him. Essentially. You're like, well, how did this happen? So it's crazy. It's funny you said that.
I love it. Like I think a lot of the things that between Breaking Bad and anime is like kind of like the rhythm of things. Like it was very abrupt. Like the timing of Breaking Bad was very intentional so that it would be on the rhythm of certain things happening. Just like anime, there would be sudden falls and you know what I'm saying? Like there would be certain things that just went at that pace.
It's something about the directing that's just similar, man.
It's one of those
for sure.
It's one of those directings that like from that angle, from those thoughts is so hard to do that people just usually just draw that shit. Draw that stuff out, man. Just draw that stuff out.
You know. No, but I absolutely see what you guys are saying. Like, I feel like that's what made me like Cowboy Bebop and stuff. Like, that's what Breaking Bad was very similar to Cowboy Bebop to me in that it was like dark whole time. Like the whole premise of the show is like, yo, this is
which one, Cowboy Bebop? Yeah.
Like this is messed up. Like
but also Cowboy Bebop is a very subtle show. It's not a show where they want to jump out at you and tell you everything. They want you to pay attention to very subtle things and understand. So it's kind of mature in that way. I've always liked that.
It was always like a show that I was like, you know what? Nobody else my age is watching this. Like,
you believe that too.
Because it's like nobody else is going to understand. It's like, this is almost like a movie. Like it's very cinematic the way this anime is being shown to me.
I'm a big fan of Akira as well.
Oh,
going off the cinematic.
Akira was groundbreaking.
Yeah, that art style was crazy.
I know it's not groundbreaking at all. I just really, really like Fire Force, man. And the intro for Fire Force.
No, Fire Force is a good show.
I loved it. Like, I think that's probably like top 5 show of 2019 for me.
If we're talking about intros, we gotta mention Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yu Yu Hakusho.
You gotta mention that.
Light City, dog.
You
best anime intro ever.
I think it's gotta be. Yeah,
ever.
I don't know how. Like every time, like the other day, this girl brought it up to me, and I hadn't heard it in like 20 years.
And that joint go hard.
I felt some type of way listening to that song.
It makes you feel good.
You need to make a song.
Man.
Yeah, you need to make a song out of that.
You know what's crazy?
You make a beat out of that. That would be killer, dog.
I'll do that. Yeah, I had it in mind. There's certain songs that I stay away from until the time's right because I don't want to mess them up.
Yeah, I get that.
Ooh. What other intros would you make a song out of that beat?
That one. Can I use endings as well?
Sure, absolutely.
There's some of those that I've thought of. The one an ending I've always wanted to do. I made this beat like a bunch of times actually back in the day, but I got to do it again.
Please say Outlaw Star.
No, that's not what I was thinking. But there's a song called Wind. It's an ending of one of the Naruto's.
I know exactly what song you're talking about.
I got to do that again.
Hard.
That's like my favorite.
It's one of the best songs that are on there.
There's an ending to Blue Exorcist. It was, I don't remember what the song's called.
First season or second season?
I think it was
probably first season.
Yeah, it was a regular K-pop song, but like it's really dope. It's like do 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 do. I don't know how to describe it, but
my favorite outro is still Shiki no Uta at the end of
Samurai Champloo. That's a beautiful song. That's a gorgeous song. It's a gorgeous song, man. Like, especially with her just there by the water, just kind of just like kicking along. Just like,
it's just a beautiful song. I'm like, man, this is hands down best outro right here.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That was a fire outro. They had one for One Piece that I really loved.
I might know what you're talking about.
It was based off of a rock band that broke up.
Yeah,
and it was like I'm terrible at music, obviously, but
another one as far as intros go. The Hunter x Hunter one, the same one. It's the same one all the way through.
Yeah.
But that Hunter x Hunter one
Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
The Hunter x Hunter
that one's
beat
a classic.
goes hard.
And there were a couple endings I really liked. That one heavy metal one was, but I don't know if I would flip that and make a beat with it. But that heavy metal one during the Phantom Troop arc.
Yes.
Yeah. That was so, actually, just quick story again. Spoiler alert, but the part where Kurapika, when he defeats that the guy in Phantom Troop.
Yeah.
Krollo.
Are you not Krollo? Not Krollo. The first guy.
Uvo.
Oh yeah.
So that was one of the first really epic episodes for me.
Oh yeah, especially when he got him in his chest, like.
I was on the bike watching that episode. I was on the bike in the gym.
Oh, I was about to say he was riding the bike.
I was in the gym just watching it. And when that episode finished, I looked at the bike. I stay on the bike in the gym for like an hour.
Okay.
In the last 10 minutes, I put the pressure up really high and get like a strong leg workout.
Yeah.
When that episode finished,
you write that down.
It ended. The episode ended right when my hour ended.
Wow.
And then that song came in, and I went ham. And then that song basically played for my cool down.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the cool down was done, I hit exactly 1,000 calories burnt.
Wow.
I had never burnt that many calories before. And
that's amazing.
It was exactly 1,000. I was like, just that right there, it just pushed me. I went ham, bro. Watching him take that, because he was plotting on this dude his whole life.
He structured his whole men around fighting those dudes.
Yeah. He was like, bro, I'm going to get you.
You are.
You.
Yeah, like, are you the strongest? Then all my stuff works. You know what I'm saying? My stuff works for everybody now. You know what I'm saying?
Get him.
Oh, man.
Crazy.
It's funny how you thought the Mafia dudes were going to do something. The Mafia beasts, you thought they were going to be something. They got handed, dog. They got handled easily.
Easy
Super
money.
Easily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Hunter x Hunter need to come back, man.
Hunter x Hunter, it's going to be so tight.
A lot of people didn't like the ending. I loved it personally.
What? Yeah. Wait, are we talking about...
it left off on a good...
How Gon went and saw his dad. Oh, yeah. Spoiler. Huge spoiler.
By now, people should have.
I like the ending of Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter, who's made by the same creator of Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Another weird topic just to go off of. Have you noticed that guy, was it Togisha? is that his name? I believe his protagonists always wear green, like the same shade of green.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like,
Yusuke
I never noticed that.
Yusuke and Gon rock the same colors.
He made Yu Yu Hakusho either.
Yeah, they wear the same shade of green with the same black hair, and typically a lot of anime characters are known for like orange.
Yeah. The main protagonist.
Yeah. That's actually a very astute observation right there.
I noticed the other day.
Green stands out for sure.
Green definitely stands out. Like I never really thought about it like that. Like if you were to say like, hey, does Gon and Yusuke wear the same colors? I would be like, yeah.
Man.
But I never thought about it like that.
You know what? That's interesting.
Gon looks like he could be Yusuke's little cousin, man.
He could.
I'm about to say you could actually parallel that to everything in Yu Yu Hakusho because Krupka looks like Genkai.
Right.
You know what? So who would Kuwabara be? The dude that had the suitcase?
Kuwabara would be the dude who had the suitcase who was useless. The guy who did nothing but talk.
Yeah. You know what I like about Togisha's style, man? A lot of anime, they're like really dramatic. And Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter are dramatic, but there's something different about it. Like, it's like, it's going to sound funny, but I almost get the impression watching Togisha anime that he must have grown up like in the hood, just because like his anime always have this sense of reality to them. Like his characters are never like sit around and cry about stuff.
Right. They're
like, I'm gonna kill that guy. You know what I'm saying?
When some dark stuff happens, it's just reality. Like you ever seen Gon sit down and be like, oh, nah, he's like, nah, oh, okay, it's like that.
Well, one of the things that I noticed about Gon that kind of made me unsure if he was a good or a bad character. I mean, it was like Gon liked people based on the amount of time they spent together. He never really actually thought if anybody in particular was good or bad. He never really actually cared. As long as what they were talking about was towards what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
How can I use him to my ends to my means?
Yeah, even his best friend is like, okay, so you're cool. I don't really care if you're an assassin. Oh, well, it keeps you alive with me, so I'm rolling with it. If you kill people, you kill people. You know what I'm saying?
His best friend might be a bad guy for real.
I mean, again, though, that's a martial arts gem because Gon's personality is highly childlike.
Very childlike.
In that every situation to him is a new one.
Yes.
So that's part of his. There was a part of the show where there was a guy who was like a gambler or something.
He wasn't a gambler. He was like he's a praiser. He was like
an appraiser. And he said this kid has a personality that is impossible for me to like basically finesse him.
Right.
Because every situation knew he's not thinking like other people. Yeah. He's always seeing.
He's not thinking of the consequences.
That makes him
what could be.
He sees the kind of every situation is brand new to him every time.
Right.
So like we get finessed because we get into the motions of doing stuff. Right. You know what I'm saying? You just go along with people tell you something.
Can I really afford this?
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be one of those things.
Gon is in the present all the time. Which is a very Taoist thing.
Yeah. No anxiety, no fear. Like
no fear.
No fear. Just like Goku.
Yeah.
Just like Goku.
Because Goku, really, I tell people all the time, like Goku, y'all say he wasn't a good character. I'm like, man, that man brought everybody up.
Yeah.
Real
that
talk.
Came into like contact with him. Everybody had to elevate because Goku was like, I'm just going to keep getting better.
And he's another character that you got to understand martial arts to understand him. When you understand martial arts, you understand Goku's the perfect martial artist.
Yes.
So he represents the message of the show.
Right. Do you guys have like a Goku at your gym? Is there just like is there a dude at the gym that's more fire than everybody that forces everybody to get better?
Rolando, man.
I'm about to say,
Rolando, I was about to say
Thailand right now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like Yamcha or something.
Come on, man. At least give yourself Krillin, dog. At least Krillin, man. You know what I'm saying? You're the strongest human. You can say that.
Rolando's that guy, man.
Yeah, Rolando's in Thailand right now. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, like, yo, what?
Yeah.
He's like, I see y'all next year. I'm like, next year, November.
Because I was like, yo, Rolando, you got to come back, man. He's like, oh, man, D, I wish I could. I'm like, what?
Could, but I'm over here fighting these guys.
Man.
But that's Goku. Like, yo, they on Namek right now? Bet.
I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
I'm on my way, and I'm training the whole way there
with these hands.
Yeah.
With these hands.
Yeah.
So one thing that I like talking about was not just the anime that came out and the ideas that's behind them, but also the studios and what kind of anime they came out with and which ones I like more. And are they heading in a certain direction? You know, like there's certain anime like Sunrise. You know, Sunrise is doing all Gundam, all day, mech robots, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. That's their main push. You know,
the niche.
That's the niche. One of our favorites is probably going to be Madhouse because of, you know what I'm saying, Hunter x Hunter, One Punch Man. You know what I'm saying? Did you guys ever watch Black Lagoon?
No. I didn't watch it. I've heard of it. I watched maybe a little bit of it.
I was a huge fan of Black Lagoon. Black Lagoon was a good anime, especially for a female protagonist. You don't see a lot of good female protagonists out there that are not like Sailor Moon kind of airhead. We're gonna work through this. You know what I'm saying?
The only other female protagonist that, as of late, was any good was like the little girl from the new Sword Art Online.
Yeah, who was actually super tall in real life.
Yeah, she was. Yes, like she was just.
And the other one that came to mind for me, a strong female protagonist that's not just in the like niche female role is Final Fantasy VI. That's another one that comes to mind for me. Okay. But that's a rare one, you know. Yeah. She was a good protagonist though, you know. Her name is
I know who you're talking about. I just can't think of her name. Terra. Yeah. Terra was a good female protagonist in that game. Shoot, we're talking about games. What else was a good female protagonist?
I mean, Tomb Raider. Lara Croft. Always at the top.
Oh wow! I can't believe I never said that. Yeah.
Samus, when we found out she was a lady.
Oh yeah, yeah. When we found out that was a chick, everybody was blown away.
Like, she been murking everything this whole time.
You know who I thought was a good female protagonist? The girl from Kill la Kill.
Oh yeah, she was pretty good.
She was good. She was good. Like she was a strong, you know what I'm saying? She was off of Trigger. I didn't like Trigger that much. You know what I'm saying? Not a huge fan of Trigger. Besides, I think Gurren Lagann was also Trigger.
Oh my gosh, Gurren Lagann has got some great animation.
It was not only is it great animation, but that whole just like keep getting better, you know what I'm saying? Keep getting fighting, just keep getting bigger. I always tell people
this about Gurren Lagann. That's a show that can cure depression, like straight up.
Yes.
That show can just straight up cure.
We're going to dig our way out this hole.
No lie. Like, if you ever feel like there's anything limiting you in your life, just watch that show. Like, the show just make you feel like you could do anything.
That show has gotten me through some tough times. You know what I'm saying?
Like no lie. Like, there were times in my life where I was really, like, down. And I would just watch, like, those scenes, you know which ones I'm talking about, where they just announce like, dog, we're drilling through the heavens.
Oh yeah.
I don't care.
Do you know who the heck I am? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it doesn't care how big you are. I don't care what robot, you got nothing.
I don't care about that.
Okay.
I remember the joke with Lord Gino, and he like picked him up.
Lord Gino picked him up and just drills him.
Y'all about to make me dig in.
Oh, you ain't never seen Gurren Lagann?
I haven't dug into Gurren Lagann.
It's only like 30 episodes.
Oh, it's worth it. Is for the amount that it keeps escalating within those episodes. Like going from underground to outer space, like that.
Yeah, I saw that. It was like they had this weird catacomb of elevators or something in the city. I'm like,
if you need inspiration, just start with that. Next time you need inspiration, just watch that show.
Just watch Gurren Lagann.
It is amazing. It kind of like, if you've seen Kill la Kill, I feel like Kill la Kill is the girl version of Gurren Lagann.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like they're like, one is about sexuality and clothes, and I wear what I want and I choose who I want to be.
Right.
And the other one is like the dude version of, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna get a job.
Yeah. Basically, I'm gonna get a job. In the beginning, he's like a little, you know.
He's like, what you do? I dig. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna be the greatest digger? Like, I'm drilled to the heavens, bro.
Gurren Lagann reminded me of One Piece a little bit too. Like a little bit, like One Piece in a nutshell. Because One Piece is just like, yo, we're just gonna get up and go. I don't care. It's just that One Piece is 1,000 episodes long.
I'm about to say, are you caught up on One Piece?
No, I got to like Dressrosa, so I gotta.
Man, I gotta catch up too. Not even tried to start it.
Right. Oh man,
it's too much.
It's good though.
It's overwhelming, dog.
It's good.
Gurren Lagann, in a way, is like watching One Piece in a nutshell. Like if you watched it in 30 episodes, it's kind of like that because it's just like the concept of, yo, we're just going to get up and go.
Okay.
And nobody can stop us.
So how do you guys feel about anime that are like that? Like the 30 episodes, like, and done type of anime, like a Cowboy Bebop?
I respect it.
Yeah, I like
respect
it.
more.
It's just different, yeah.
I like it.
I think when they have those anime that is out there set to die, you know what I'm saying, to finish,
Right.
That's when you get those works of art. You know what I'm saying? You come out with 13 episodes of some real,
I'm about
real
to say,
stuff.
because that's
Quality.
what like Samurai Champloo was for me. It was like, yo, this ended perfect.
Samurai
Like, this
Champloo
didn't need to be any longer. I don't
is-
need another season.
26 episodes of perfection.
Yeah.
And that's all I can ask for. Because sometimes, look, it's like I'm a music guy. So would I rather make an album that you play for the rest of your life?
Right.
Or just make 10 albums that you play once?
With that being said,
You know?
Nipsey's last album.
Yeah.
Nipsey's last album.
Marathon. You could play
Marathon.
People are going to be playing
Yo,
that.
Victory Lap was like, I'm like, yo,
Lap
this was the perfect album to go out with.
To go out
Facts. Because he was saying things in there. He
Yeah,
was saying
it's
some
timeless.
Hey
It's
man,
timeless.
hey, I got like a theory that black people could see bad stuff coming, man. Like they just
Yeah.
start saying some weird stuff because
Black
everybody
people
says it
from
all the time.
LA.
Yeah,
Can't
he's
see
usually
bad
from
stuff.
LA. Now that you mention it, they're usually from LA. They're
Because
like,
remember, Roddy Ricch
I know
had
why
made
that
a
is, though.
song, and it was like the video of it. I'm like,
I tell you
man,
why
gonna
that is.
die, bro.
ominous.
I tell you why I think that is.
Why?
West Coast rappers get down to business. Think about this. Most big names in West Coast hip hop you can think of took their music and then went on into a business venture of some kind and are still entrepreneurs to this day.
True.
Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, Nipsey was another one of them.
Yep.
You know, Tupac was going in that
Yeah, he was
direction.
on his
Kendrick
way.
Lamar's heading in that
So,
direction.
Tupac was
Right,
a legit
Kendrick, exactly.
thespian, dog.
Exactly. So, and he was an actor. So my point is, because they get down to business, they also understand how the powers that be are moving.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to get in that space. Nipsey was, when you listen to his music and you look at the type of moves he was making, I think Nipsey knew he could get taken out any moment.
Right.
Because he understood he was a revolutionary of sorts because
Right.
he was trying to arrange resources for his community.
Right.
There's nothing more revolutionary than that. So he was saying in his songs, like, look, if I get taken out, just know I was a glitch in the matrix.
Right.
Because he knew.
Yeah.
When you're not
he
an
definitely
entrepreneur,
said that.
when you're not somebody with an entrepreneurial mindset, you don't see through those things the same way.
Right.
So that's why.
Right,
in my
because how
opinion,
many people actually out here thinking about, I just want to own this block
Yeah.
in the city, like, this is my block, like, you know what I'm saying?
I tell you something. I work in a WeWork building in the Southeast. If
What
you
is a
guys-
WeWork building?
WeWork is it's a really dope thing. It almost feels like a college campus, except businesses and entrepreneurs just rent out spaces in it.
So it's
Kinda
like M3DC.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
an
you can-
incubator.
Yeah, they have happy hours every day, all that stuff. It's
Wow.
really, really dope. You can network all day in there. That's what I
That's
do.
what's up.
So I'm on my
I wanna
Nipsey
do that.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
I want to do that.
But look, Nipsey in his city rented out the entire second floor of a WeWork building just like mine to create a STEM program for kids.
Wow.
That's amazing.
When you have a person like that in the community, that's the type of people
That's
that
a
gets
problem.
taken out.
Right, that's a problem
That's a
for
problem.
the establishment, yeah.
Nipsey was investing in cryptocurrency back in, he was,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a threat.
That's a threat.
That is kind of threatening, you know what I'm saying? And plus, it's like usually guys who are, you know what I'm saying, prominent in their communities, they usually have like an obvious weakness, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, if you did drugs or if you did bad in the past, then, you know what I'm saying, you don't have access to these things.
Right.
You know, somebody who's like Nipsey Hussle, who became successful through that and then
Right.
going up to that level, it's like you can't hit him with anything.
See,
You're
but
going to have to use a bullet. Like everything else will bounce off.
But too,
Yeah.
I would think when you hit a certain level, like when you leave somebody with no other option but to succeed,
Don't make it.
yo,
Yeah.
that's how you create the monster right there. It's like, I'm literally in a corner. Like, I gotta succeed.
And you mentioned a Victory Lap. To me, the album I think where he sounds the most like the most like he's predicting his own death and all that is Mailbox Money.
Really?
Cause on that album he got a song called called I Don't Know No Like Me. You know what I mean? No Negro Like Me and stuff like that. Or That whole album is saying like, that's how I knew. There's a song called "That's How I Knew." That's how I knew I was special. He's saying on that album over and over again, like, yo, I'm something different. Yeah. What I'm doing is something different.
Yeah. Nobody else doing this.
Yeah. So you would say that you have like a similar thing, that they have like an entrepreneurial mindset that allows you to see a little bit into the future of what certain businesses or organizations or things that are trying to go into.
Oh yeah.
So, because I'm gonna try and pivot on this, right? What do you think, like with companies such as Activision, Apple, the NBA, kind of bowing down to China in the situation that kind of happened, the whole Blizzard situation of like, hey, free Hong Kong, and then it's like, nah, dude, we taking your bread, the hosts are fired. Do you feel as if like we're heading in that kind of thing where it's like certain companies are trying to, I don't know how to say it exactly, you know, are they shifting just because of the money, or do you think principle is ever going to matter because, you know?
I mean, shit, man.
I don't know.
Right.
You try
I'm sorry, Shane.
You try to get me
no.
No, go ahead. Because, I mean, I got a lot to say about that.
That is tough.
In all honesty, I don't know enough about the Hong Kong situation. But what I'll say is, nothing surprises me when it comes to businesses just doing what's in their best interest.
Yeah.
And Blizzard in particular, they were my favorite video game company growing up.
I love Overwatch.
And they, you know, I was a huge StarCraft kid.
StarCraft,
You know, and they disappointed me over the years because I started to see a business tendency to them. Nowadays, I studied game design and the history of it a little bit.
Right.
I'm a big fan of Nintendo because Nintendo, as long as you've seen them for 30 years,
They stay true, man.
they've stayed true to their craft. You've never seen them sell out in any type of way.
Never.
When Mortal Kombat came around, made
They were
all
like,
them bloody
I'm straight.
games. Did you ever see Nintendo start making bloody games?
Never.
When shooters became this big thing, did you ever see them start throwing out a whole lot of shooters?
They're like, we don't need virtual cop.
Yo, we don't need it.
when games started finessing people with MMORPGs and trying to get your money, did you see Nintendo do that?
They were like, we got Zelda.
Right.
Hold the Zelda, dog.
And now the
Mario.
new thing is DLC, where all these companies are trying to get money from you with DLC.
I respect that.
Nintendo barely, they do DLC, but in a respectful way.
Hey, they do it, but they're like, what's a loot box?
Right.
They're like, we don't do no loot
We
boxes.
don't
Right.
see no loot boxes. Like,
So-
if you're going to pay for it.
My thing with
pay
Blizzard,
for it.
you've seen this tendency with them for a long time just in how they conduct video game business. Like when they started, I was a fan of Warcraft 3 and all that as well, but when they went in that MMO direction, you see this certain tendency of them of like, oh yeah, we just about a bag.
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
Like, you got to pay to play, baby. Play to
You
win.
gotta do
Right.
it, man. Is there like a game company that you feel is worse? Like me personally, I think Bethesda is worse because it's
Bethesda fell way
incompetence
off.
over greed and like disregard.
You know
what
they're
I'm saying?
around here, right?
Of course, it's in
Yeah.
Bethesda.
Right.
Yeah. I know those guys. I know some of those guys, or some of the guys that used to work there or still do. You know, and I stick to what I say because I mean the whole thing that came out with Fallout 76 and the subscription, $100 a year
Did you
to
hear
get some
about
broken
that?
mess.
Like,
Oh yeah, it's a broken mess.
They created a class war online. So basically, it came down to like whoever paid the subscription were getting ganged up on in the game by the people that didn't have the subscription. I'm like, yo,
Yeah,
This
we
is
banging
why-
on
that's
you.
bad.
All of
banging
these
on
things are just are a reason why, like for me as a principal doing business, I think it's very important to create a foundation starting any business that's based on in integrity. Because if you don't, it will be taken in another direction at some point.
Exactly.
See, the reason Nintendo to me has survived this long without selling out is because in a way their brand literally is pure game design.
It's their brand.
Yeah.
But like my thing is, look, if
No
you
cheap
think about
tactics.
when you think about certain game companies, like let's say Square Enix, which I'm a big fan of as well.
yeah,
they
love Square
Final
Enix.
Fantasy
Yeah,
games,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
Kingdom
But
Hearts, all that.
Sometimes you don't think game design when you think Square Enix. Instead, you think pop star looking characters. You think graphics.
I think game design when I
Bushido
think of
blade.
Atlas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
games like Disgaea that are really like
I like
niche.
Disgaea.
I love Disgaea.
never
It's
played that.
it's a very niche strategy RPG. And it's really particular and it's real deep. You can go into the worlds of the item, the worlds of the character.
Okay.
You can keep like it's I love it. There's like 7 games.
Like you said, kind of going back to Nipsey, that's what made him dangerous because he was like the Nintendo. He didn't have
my point exactly.
a controller. He didn't have anybody
right.
backing him that he had to answer to. Right. So really, it was like, yo, I got all this money.
Right.
I'm about to do whatever I want.
And his foundation was in something. His foundation was really in the culture.
Right.
Like Nintendo is from the culture of video game design. Nobody could deny that. Nobody could deny that Nintendo aren't real game designers.
Right.
Like me doing music, I'm a real musician.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's the only way that I'm gonna make this work. I'm not gonna finesse it by trying to create some type of weirdo hip hop brand that gets you a bag real quick or whatever. Because at that point you get finessed easily.
Yes.
I learned music. I learned engineering. I learned the production. I learned the writing of it to the core.
Wow.
Because that's the only way I'm gonna make something that lasts.
I do respect it. Yeah. I mean, like I do, because I feel as if like certain people like Nicki Minaj and Drake and certain people who just like, this is what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to have a team of people do it for me.
That's right. Yeah.
I feel as if there's something that's lacking in that level of music, and I feel as if that kind of gets brought out later on where people are just like, I can't even listen to you no more. It's going to be a long time for Drake.
Well,
it's going to be a long time for that ever happen.
Here's the thing. Drake, I like early Drake, right?
Early Drake was amazing.
Drake felt pure.
Yeah, I agree with
right?
that.
Like, I feel like a lot of guys hated on Drake because, like, this man ain't scared to say what we all feel.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, when our girls hurt our feelings, Drake gonna rap about it.
Yeah.
Whereas back in the day, they would sing about it, but this man gonna rap and sing about it. I think maybe over the years, he needed a little help with his pen because he's been in the game a while.
For a minute. For a minute. And being around Young Money is a lot. Like, you can't be just Lil Wayne. Not everybody can be Lil Wayne.
Right.
I throw in a really weird take. To me, the Nintendo of hip hop is Rockefeller, and the Kanye would be the creator of Pokemon. Essentially.
You know what?
And this is what I mean by that. What I mean
Don't
is
tell me
that,
Sword and Shield is going to be Jesus' king.
Yeah. Well, my point is, the reason I say it is because, like, I spoke about how Nintendo created this foundation. And because they created this foundation, then they can bring in other acts that have that foundation. Right. I think that's what they did when they found the creator of Pokemon. This man had autism and all these things. But
it's usually a brother who got autism, man. Like, those guys. Like,
I think the only way we could have a Kanye, a rapper who's been one of the biggest superstars and the only one to never do any gangster rap or anything like that, but is still one of the biggest superstars ever, is because it came from a black-owned label like a Rockefeller.
True.
That's the only way that works. And this is the reason why we need to keep on creating our own foundations. Yeah. If Leo Cohen owned Rockefeller, you probably wouldn't have a Kanye.
Nah, you wouldn't. Because at the end of the day, too, Kanye, whether we want to admit it or not.
Oh, Demo's about to drop some knowledge on this. Go ahead, brother Demo.
I just go back to the blueprint, right? Like, the blueprint was that man's, like, swan song. Like
this is
Jay-Z?
Oh, yeah. But with
Blueprint?
Kanye's production, like, would the blueprint have been the blueprint?
Exactly.
Without that Kanye. Like, Just Blaze was on there, too, but Kanye
made it.
Was bringing something different. That he put soul into a lot of the music.
And if it was
even
a regular,
Cameron,
and if it was a regular like white-owned major label, you wouldn't have a Kanye making those chipmunk beats. You would have had another, Track Masters or another Swiss Beats or something making those just generic
so then who
gangsta
would be,
beats.
So who would be Heatmakers? Would Heatmakers be anybody? Because Heatmakers is just tight, man. Ain't no news about them.
Heatmakers, though, they became a thing because Rockefeller made it a thing for that sound to be a thing.
That oldies kind of sped up oldies kind of.
RZA was doing it. But
not to that level.
Made it, they made it hot. So now you had Heatmakers come out and Just Blaze was spamming that chipmunk joint.
And then the whole Maybach music kind of thing kind of rolling out. We're so off task, man, but I love it, dog. I don't even care.
This is beautiful.
This is even better, to be honest.
But like you said, like, Rockefeller's the Nintendo.
In my opinion.
But I wonder what happened to make them stray the way they did. You know what I'm saying?
That's a whole other conversation.
You know what I'm saying? Because I look at it, it's like, yo, y'all had everything. Like, y'all could have had this joint on lock for the next 30 years. Like, You know what I'm saying?
You want to know where they started messing up? They got rid of DMX. They just didn't put out none of DMX's stuff.
I think that's partly true too.
Like like Jay-Z looked at DMX as like, okay,
He was a threat.
Dog, DMX was like between 96 and 99, DMX was like the largest rapper that ever He was untouchable during his period.
Which
But
is
also,
sad.
Jay-Z was around too many street dudes, man. Like that's another problem. Like Beanie Siegel and DMX were going to jail every year.
All the
just to
time.
do business with a guy like that.
It's hard.
Liabilities.
It's a liability.
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like you see it all the time.
Yeah.
You see it in the interviews. Like you see Jay-Z just sitting there kind of look tired.
Yeah.
And then
Like,
everybody is just like freaking out around him. Like, yeah, it's
That's
the
something
rock.
I can relate to. Like, you know, I'm not trying to act like I'm Jay-Z, but I can relate to having a lot of people around you trying to collaborate with everybody, and you find that they're draining you more than they're adding to you.
Right.
Yes.
In recent years, like me and Cypher 360, we used to affiliate with a lot more people. And people will see that if they go through our music catalog. But nowadays, it's been me, Rolando, and a few other producers and artists that, you know, I really mess with, that I collaborate with on a consistent basis because I don't want to get taken out of that element.
Yeah. And that could happen. I think that's what happened to Wale. Wale's on the completely wrong label for his style of music, in my opinion. I feel like he could be bigger, and I think he getting frustrated because he feels it. He know he signed with the wrong label.
I mean,
It's a tough one.
It is a tough one because, like, dude, it's Wale. And first of all, Wale is corny. I'll be the first. Wale is one of my favorite DC rappers.
very poetic, dog.
Yo, like that new album that he came out with is gold. You know what I'm saying? But I'll never forget when Wale was on the radio and he was like, people think that I'm great because I'm superhuman, but really it's because I'm super human. And I was like,
He was high.
I was like, oh, okay, he was. You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of hard though. That's a bar.
Exactly.
That's a bar.
It was a bar and it was hard. And at first I was like, oh my God, that's deep. And then I was like, nah, it's not that deep.
He
It's
tried
not
to
that
finesse.
deep,
He tried to
man. It's not
massage it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But if I was to still see Wale, let it be known that I would still like, you know, fan out, be like, oh my God, it's Wale, man. What's up?
I don't know if I would fan. I mean, I love Wale. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think I fanboy.
Yeah, would you like just dab him up? Like,
Yeah,
oh,
of course.
like,
yeah.
oh, snap,
I see
Wale.
Big G from the backyard band at the grocery store all the
Like,
time.
what's up, man? Like, hey, what's good with you, man?
I was like, this man clearly lives in my neighborhood somewhere. But like, he be at the fish little counter getting salmon, and I'm like, for real?
That's funny.
So with the time that we got, you know what I'm saying?
That's like in like I used to live in Barbados. My family used to live in Barbados.
Word.
There's a place called Chefette. Chefette is like the KFC out there. And Rihanna, she's from Barbados. She went to Chefette. She tried to go to the front of the line and said,
What you doing? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we all watch you grow up here. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, we know who
Barbados
you
is
are.
probably an island probably around the size of DC.
Oh, yeah.
So they all saw it. They're like, what?
what are you doing here?
Like, I want my chicken like back.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't care who you singing and dancing for. You know what I'm saying? But with the time that
That's a story I heard.
With the time that we got left, man, we like to do like the shameless shout outs, man. You want to holler at your boy, man, the gang, you know what I'm saying? Your girl, whoever, man.
Shout 'em out,
Shout
dog.
them out,
Shout
man. Where can they
yourself out,
reach
man.
you? You know what I'm saying? Get them beats, dog. Get that music, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that.
Where can we get that, man? Where can we get it?
I have an album out right now on all streaming platforms. It's called CD, which stands for Cognitive Dissonance.
Cognitive dissonance.
CD.
I love it.
Cognitive dissonance. Yeah, you know I'm a psychology guy, so my degree's in psychology. A lot of my music deals with psychology along with the anime theme. So we have that. You can get me on social media. My IG is where I do I put up a lot of my music production. I step you through my process and all that. It's at JFKratez, JFKratez. And we have a Cypher 360's Instagram as well, CYPHA360Z. And we have Cypher360s.com. You can also follow me on Twitter, JFKratez, at JFKratez. And shout out, the whole team, Cypher 360s, the whole gang, sing them stop. Shout out the family, shout out God, shout out everything, everybody.
Everything,
Bless.
everybody, all
Bless,
the time.
yes.
All is good, man. God is good.
Also, my SoundCloud, I put up a little bit more of my random beats and stuff like that.
Oh, the Lucy's. The
and the Lucy.
Lucy joints, man.
You could get the link to my album also on my Instagram.
Dope.
Awesome. This is us, man. We are Co-Play Media, man. You can check us out also on Facebook. We never actually say this. You can check us out on Facebook, you know what I'm saying? DC Radio Network, on YouTube, on Twitter. We are out there, I promise. And this is Co-Play Media. And we are out of here.
Let's go.
One love.
In DC, for DC. DC Radio, 96.3 HD4 and DCRadio.gov.